Swear be the truth, that what they say.
She go for anything, yo, the bitch go for. Who got the work, scale it up, what it go for? Bitch, where you at? Bring that mouth here. I'm in the streets with a check, bitch, I'm out here. I got dope, I got crack, what you tryna do? My partner got the pills pharmaceutical. I dropped the sunroof, I'm just tryna let the car air. I'm smoking all gas, you just smoking all air. Yo, bitch on me bad, feel like I'm a ball player. All this trap money, feel like I'm a ball player. I spread them niggas like the phone, cause they out there. You don't fuck with Freddy, fuck them all well. You square, plus you salty, you a cracker nigga. Hope I with no safety, better back up nigga. Draco, you in your backup nigga. My shit was cold-blooded like a reptile, yes sir. Jumping off the top rope like a wrestler, yes sir. All up in your hood, said I'm the GOAT. Ride around with the dope, I'm a chauffeur. All these sticks in here, what I'ma lock the doors for. She go for anything, yo, the bitch go for. Who got the work, scale it up, what it go for? Scare me up, I'm a whole 1,008 grams. Moonwalking with the dope, make it Space Jam. You know time, make money, I can't waste damn. Don't play round by that that money, lay him face down.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What's good, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good, Teran, G-Mac, Justin N, Damn Down the Truth, Joshua Hawkins, what's good, everybody? We got a good show lined up for everybody today. How y'all feeling today? I ain't gonna make y'all wait too long for me to get into the content, so let's go ahead and get into the content. Oh, they got lovely lace, all lovely and laced. Where you been at, lovely lace? Where you been at? Don't worry about it, though. We missed you. Glad to see you. You say the mic is good. Thank you for the mic check. Thank you for the mic check. So, I think I'm gonna do 2 lives. I just got finished watching Gil live. I was over there fucking in tears, man. Gil over there is just flaming the shit out of Kwame. So, of course, I got to go over that live because there's a lot of lies that Gil exposed on Kwame again. So, you know, I will be going over Gil's live a little later. So, y'all stay tuned for that, man. You know, y'all stay tuned for that because we're going to break that down. But until we get to that, oh, sorry that I got y'all looking at the wrong part. I want to start with our first story, y'all. I'm going to start with our first story. Our first story, man, we got this low-life, sleazy joker. And the reason I call him low-life and sleazy, because I did not expect to see what I saw on Twitter today, y'all. I did not expect to see what I saw on Twitter today. I mean, we in a world full of all kind of, you know, let me take this down real quick till I finish giving my commentary. So we in a world, y'all, where we dealing with a whole bunch of biz one-on-ones. And the reason I went on here and pointed out biz one-on-one, because this guy, DJ Envy, he reminds me of biz one-on-one. He reminds me of biz one-on-one. Not because he has the charge that biz one-on-one has. No, because he's equally as stupid. He talk like Biz. He look like Biz. I mean, come on, bro. This man, he just reminds me of Biz. Now, this video that I'm about to show y'all, it's going to remind you of Biz because only a nigga like Biz would want to see a video like what DJ Envy posted last night. And I'm going to warn y'all, ladies, y'all are going to be a little disgusted. Fathers, y'all are going to be disgusted. So just a fair warning to everybody that who has a young girl in their life, whether it's their daughter, their niece, whatever it is. Because this has to be one of the most irresponsible things that I could ever see a parent do. Better yet, a father. Better yet, a parent, period. Because I don't know where the fuck his wife was when he did this. Oh, she was on the phone. So without further ado, y'all, I had to go through this video and I wasn't sure if YouTube would let me show it. So I had to go and blur some things because I don't want to get a strike for, you know, showing, you know, something that a grown ass man showed of his own daughter. So y'all, look at the screen right now. What do y'all see? Tell me, what do y'all see when y'all looking at the screen right now? I'm going to give y'all a second to type in the chat. What do y'all see right now? I want to make sure we all seeing the same thing. Okay, so everybody, the people that's in here, they say they see red. I see somebody say they see a female in red. Some people say they see sexy red. Some people say, is that a baby? To the person that said, is that a baby? Yes, it is a baby, y'all. But there's something wrong with this baby that's on the screen. This is DJ Envy's daughter. Y'all. This is Halloween. This is DJ Envy allowing or encouraging his daughter to dress up as Little Kim. Little Kim. Oh, that ain't the worst part. Let's look at the video, y'all. And I had to blur the video. Excuse me, y'all, for having to show this. But this is for educational purposes. This is for educational purposes, y'all. I would never want to show a young girl dressed like this. But this is what DJ Envy put on X, a.k.a. Twitter, for the world to see. And he thought it was cool.
Oh my God.
Now, I had to blur out this young lady because this young girl right here, she has on a bikini outfit. She has on a very, very revealing outfit. I had to blur it out because I didn't want to get struck for showing some kind of child nudity or something like that. But this girl is dressed, she's supposed to be Little Kim. She's supposed to be Little Kim. This girl didn't even know who Little Kim was when Little Kim was born. So this is a grown man dressing his little daughter up as Little Kim so they can do a video shoot. Acting like he's motherfucking Biggie Smalls singing the what's that song? True. I know you see me in the video. True, I know you see me. All that shit. What's good, Crucial K? Now look at this.
No, we're doing a video. She about to do the whole video.
He's talking to his wife on the phone. So his wife is fully aware that he has this little girl dressed like a grown-ass woman. And listen to the verse that she raps as she's rapping Little Kim's verse.
Video.
Can't take this. Look at this. Oh my God.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, indeed.
I know you see me on the video. I know you.
Now this gotta be the corniest shit ever. A light-skinned nigga singing Biggie Smalls' verse. First of all, this is just disrespectful. First of all, this is just totally disrespectful. But what's more disrespectful is how he disrespects his own daughter. All of these grown women got on clothes. All the grown women you see on here gonna have on clothes. Only person gonna be half naked is his daughter.
Heard me on the radio.
Now look at these people. Look at all these people. Everybody fully clothed. Now all this is fun and games. I don't have no problem with everybody dancing around. I don't have a problem with, y'all mimicking the video or whatever like that. But what I do have everybody faces, y'all. I went blur crazy because I wanted to make sure I wasn't showing the little girl. So excuse the parts where I blurred people's face on accident. I got to get better with the blurring stuff.
It's cool, not trying to put a rush on you. I had to let you know that I got a crush on you.
Hey, yo, sure.
So here's the little girl, and I accidentally put a blur on her face. I didn't mean to, but like I say, I was trying to make sure I just blurred the parts where her body parts were showing. And every now and then I put it in the wrong spot.
Won't you go get a bag of the lethal? I'll be.
So I was making sure I blurred this part because you can see when she walking down the damn stairs, you can see all her lower part. I felt uncomfortable. I had to blur that shit like hell no. What's good, Unity? I had to blur that shit like hell nah. I can't show this shit on my page. I felt weird for watching it. But I was like, I know this nigga ain't having his daughter. This girl can't be no more than probably 10, 11 years old.
Young dress in the bra, all see-through.
And as you can see, I kind of missed some. But you can see that this
Won't
girl
you go get a bag of the lethal?
This girl is way underdressed.
In the bra.
And listen to the lyrics that she is saying. I be in the lobby with the bra all see-through. This is a kid.
All see-through. While you count your jewels thinking I'ma cheat you. The only one thing I wanna do is freak you.
You got a little girl talking about the only thing I want to do is freak you. She's 8. Well, my bad. I wasn't trying to give y'all misinformation. I just tried to make her as old as possible.
stone sets. I got my own baguettes, and I'll be doing things.
Well, I at least got the blur right on this one, y'all, because it was way too much showing. You can see the little girl bikini. This is that biz one-on-one type shit. Niggas, shout out to Unity for that Honda. Unity with the Honda. Let me make sure I hit the drop for you. So we ain't seen y'all all week, man. Make sure I hit the drop for you in case we got Dildo D in the chat.
Unity 2025 super chatted $50. Are you ready?
I just want to publicly say fuck you, Unity, and fuck you, Earz to the street. And fuck you, Earz. Fuck you, Unity to the street. And fuck anybody that supports and donates them.
Shout out to Unity for that Honda. But yeah, like I was saying, and like somebody just said in the chat, you gotta blame her mama too, because her mama was right on the phone and her mama said, oh hell no, you better not post no shit like that on the internet. You better not. And this nigga so dumb. He just like Biz. I swear. He's so dumb. He went and fucking did a whole fucking credit. So everybody in here, in this motherfucker, in these categories, they should have their ass locked the fuck up right now. Everybody that you name, whoever the director is, Gia Casey, director, you need to have your ass in jail with a fresh new charge. I mean, nothing serious, but at least a misdemeanor. You should have one of those Biz charges. No, I ain't gonna play it again. I mean, unless we have some more people come in and they need to see it, you know what I mean? But if you just came in and you just missed what I just showed, rewind back a little bit and, you know, see the video. The people who produced it, they need to have their ass slapped the fuck out of. G.I.A. Casey, whoever this person is, I think that might be his wife, because she all over this thing. Commissioning editor, this person, G.I.A. Casey, need her ass smacked the fuck out of. She should refuse all of this. The assistant choreographers, Mercedes-Benz Walker, you need to have your ass smacked the fuck out of. Bubba Hernandez, you need to have your ass smacked the fuck out of.
I know you heard me on
the stylist, CIA Casey, you need to smack the fuck out of her. Madison Casey, you need to be smacked the fuck out of. Whoever did her hair need to be smacked the fuck out of. And I appreciate that donation, man, because me playing this video and playing that music alone is gonna not allow me to get monetization for this video without taking that out, without clipping that out. So I appreciate for hitting the super chat for this live.
radio, but you still don't pay me no attention.
Everybody that was in that video need to be slapped the fuck out of. I ain't lying. Cause that was just disgusting on all type of levels. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the hell thought that was a good idea, but DJ Envy, you would not get any kind of Father of the Year. We don't want to hear no more shit about how much you love your family, how much you love your daughter, all that crazy shit, nigga, because that was just straight up foul. Straight up foul. You don't exploit your daughter like that. The hell is wrong with this dude, man? What the hell is wrong with this dude? I mean, that's just some straight up goddamn biz one-on-one shit. Straight up biz one-on-one shit. I can't describe it no other way. And y'all told me not to show that again, so I'm not going to go back and show it again, you know, for the people that wasn't here. We going to go ahead and move on to our next story, but damn, but that shit fucked me up when I seen that shit this morning. That shit fucked me all the way up. Now, to our next topic. What's our next topic? I made a video about this, but I'm gonna go over it anyway because I think it's funny, and the video doesn't have that many views. So I'm gonna go over this this story anyway because it was kind of funny to me. Shout out to Unity for that 50 pack. I appreciate that. Salute to you, man. Salute to the Cash App, any kind of donation. Like I say, me playing that video alone, they're going to take my monetization off of this. So, you know, so I appreciate the love, man, and, you know, making this. Yeah, lock the whole fucking family up for that one, Justin in. I mean, cause who in this chat? I mean, seriously, who in this chat think it's okay to dress a 8-year-old child up like Little Kim? Now I can see if we was in the Little Kim era, I might can understand a little bit. But we ain't even in the Little Kim era. That baby wasn't even born when Little Kim was out there doing her thing. Matter of fact, when she was born, Lil' Kim was already washed up. Lil' Kim done did her time and everything by the time that little girl goddamn was even born. So that's crazy that's not her idea. That's his idea. You can't tell me, oh man, she wanted to do that. No the fuck she didn't. She don't know who no damn Lil' Kim is. She has no idea who Lil' Kim is. That's amazing. What parents, freaky ass fantasies, and the type of shit that they will put on their own kids. And I was expecting this to go down YouTube and see everybody talking about that. I was expecting. Now, when I looked in the comments, I didn't see not one person that agreed with that video. Everybody was like, why the fuck would you be exploiting your child? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody was talking shit in the chat. But I ain't seen nobody on YouTube do no videos about it. So maybe I gotta clip that out so I can show people the video of it or whatever, and just show what type of sick motherfucker that is. But let it would have been somebody said that the nigga scammed somebody. Everybody got something to say. All right, y'all. So on to our next topic or whatever. Salute to Mika. Salute to Tom Boy. I see you in the area. Shout out to all the members, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Make sure Earz is being shared in the algorithm. So my next story before we get to Young Thug's sentencing and what I think about that, because I haven't been covering the Young Thug trial like I said I was, but it's all good because we still know what's going on, and we're gonna find out what I think about the end result and the result of kind of everything that went on the whole way, including with Fannie Willis. So if Queen in the area, I know you're going to be mad what I got to say about Fannie, but I ain't going to go in too hard on her. What's good? All That Remains. What's good? Cheryl Hodges. So, y'all, this next story is a funny story, but at the same time, it's kind of fucked up. So here we have a floor, and this happened in Orlando, so this is why I might have seen this story, but y'all might have not have seen this story. So this story is about a Florida bail bondsman. Now, once y'all hear about what this is one of the biggest bail bondsmen in the Central Florida, damn near the Florida area. This bail bondsman, he has a bail bondsman down there by the Miami area, Fort Lauderdale. He has a bail bondsman around the Central Florida area, and I think he has one around Tallahassee or something. So he damn near got the state locked. But wait till y'all find out how you can get yourself out of jail if you're a pretty lady. I don't like how they doing, Bruce. But anyway, man, let's get on to our next story. Our next story is gonna be about old rapper Young Thug, man. So they finally done came to a conclusion on Young Thug and a lot of the guys in the Young Thug trial. And I've been keeping up with the Young Thug trial, even though I haven't been reporting on it because it just be too much and it's too fast, and I can't catch it that fast, and the fucking the court dates be so long, and it be a whole bunch of fucking recesses, and a whole bunch of motherfucker gotta break down who they is and all that shit, and then I gotta record it at the right time. I could watch it, but recording it is a whole different thing. So over the last couple of months, but we did start off going over some details. We was trying to see, or at least I was trying to see, what it was they actually was going to say that literally tied Thug to the things that they were saying that Thug did. Now, the whole time that we was going over that part, we didn't really see anything that you can actually say that Thug was tied to. You had a whole bunch of pictures. You had some songs that they was taking out, you know, of context. You had some niggas that got murdered, but, you know, they couldn't prove that Thug literally had something to do with it. So when it comes to now, Thug decided to take a plea deal. Now, a lot of people, everybody, everywhere right now, yeah, you got Young Woody came out the situation, but a lot of people right now like, yeah, Thug free, man, Thug free, and even Thug might be happy he free for a second. But y'all, in my opinion, and I said I was thinking this, and I was ready to do a live about it yesterday, but I changed my mind. I see Poetic Flacco did a live about it, and a lot of other people did a lot about Thug's freedom, but the only person I seen that definitely understand it the way I understand it, and Flacco has never been to jail, he's never been on probation or whatever, he's just a person that knows how to research, you know what I'm saying? But he said it better than I could say it, because he can explain things that I forgot about and I probably wouldn't have mentioned, but you know, I'm aware of that also. So I'm gonna do a reaction off of his video, but even he realized that Thug made a huge mistake. Thug would have had to sit, don't get me wrong, he would have had to finish out this trial if it didn't get a mistrial, which it seemed as though they were trying to make it a mistrial. They were doing stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? And even the judge was getting pissed off. So Thug is kind of afraid that they're trying to get a mistrial, and when they do a mistrial, that doesn't mean you're free, because remember when we was going over the Y&W Melly trial, there was a mistrial, but that doesn't mean Y&W Melly is free. That means they just get to go put their shit back together, you know what I'm saying, make it not as sloppy as before, and they get to retry you, but you got to sit in the jailhouse all that time waiting. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you how it's a huge mistake in a minute, Tamika. Just let me get there. I'm just, you know, I just want to break this down. So, if it would have been a mistrial, Thug would have had to wait some more time, probably another year or two. So, granted, he already been locked up 2 years. That's a long time, you know, especially when it's your first time locked up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you want to get the fuck out. And now they're presenting you that they're willing to let you out right now, just if you sign this or sign that. Mistrial in a speedy trial means it would have been over. Nah, if it would have been a mistrial, a speedy trial, as far as in a RICO with the GBI and all that, that would have they could have had up to 6 to 12 months. They would have had 6 to 12 months. You know, do a new trial. But they already got it ready. All they got to do is just get rid of, you know, little stuff here, little stuff there. You know, and you know, get rid of all the fat. So, my point is, so young Thug, he decided, hey, I would want to get out now and take the deal. And he did one of the most riskiest things I ever seen. And that nigga allowed the judge to give him an open sentence. Do y'all know that judge could have hit that nigga with the book if she wanted to? I don't know why that nigga felt confident in that judge, but that was crazy work. So, and I'm gonna talk about the other plea deals that the other guys got, but I'm gonna tell you what my opinion about is with Thug first. He signed what we call a blind plea, because he couldn't come to an agreement with the district attorney. The district attorney was offering him a 40-year sentence, 15 years of probation, and they'll let him out immediately. But he was gonna have to probably say like YSL a gang, and he probably was gonna have to admit some shit. He wasn't going to be able to, you know, the charges that he pleaded no contest to, or no law, those charges, he wouldn't have been able to do that, you know what I'm saying? So with good representation, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they told him to do that. But here's the problem. They offered him 40-year sentence, pretty much the same way, 15 years due on probation. But he was going to have to pretty much throw his career out the window because they was going to tell him you got to stay away from gang members. You can't do this, you can't do that, or whatever. But I don't think they was including being able to still work with Gunna and being able to be around his brother. And, you know, they probably was making it like, nigga, we going to make sure you coming back. So he took his chance more of with the judge and say, hey, fuck it. I'm going to plead guilty to some of these things, but I'm going to let you just sentence me instead of them giving me the time that I'm going to agree with. That was a very, 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 very risky move. Because for one, the way that this district attorney is fucking up this goddamn case or whatever, you might as well fight this bitch all the way to the end. Granted, it would take another 3 to 6 months. And maybe you might get found guilty, but you might win on appeal. And yes, you'll be locked up for a good hot minute. 6 years possibly. 6, maybe 7 years. But beating it all together and none of this shit been on your record where they can't pull you back in for the next 20, 30 years of your life. You know, I know it's kind of hard to look down the line and see that. But, you know, when you get 10 years down in 8 years in your life and you realize that you still can't spit on the concrete without going to prison for 20 years, you'll see what I'm talking about. It feel good right now. Yeah, get out right now. So they offer him the 15 years on probation, but the 40 years. And they was talking about the back time and everything with the 20 years. So pretty much if he was fucked up, he would have had to go to prison for 25 years. The judge gave him literally the same shit, except for she added in the clause that he can have security around him in the arm's reach that have a firearm. He can work with the person that he's obligatedly contracted to, which is Gunna, and he can be around his brother, which is a known gang member. He can come to Atlanta for certain reasons. They banned this nigga from Atlanta. How you ban a nigga for somewhere he from? But they banned him from Atlanta, which is a good thing for him. You know, and pretty much he got the same 15 years probation. She's giving him the same time served that they was going to give him. Now he has to walk on eggshells on intense probation for 15 years. I'm talking about intense. If he complete the 15 years intense without doing anything as far as it, not even a misdemeanor, they'll get rid of the rest of that time. If that nigga fucking jaywalk anything, I'm talking about even drink a beer, he smoke a blunt, that nigga pop the wrong type of pill, that nigga cuss out a 3rd grade teacher, somebody mad at him for a girl want to lie on him and say, nigga, you smack me. What a normal person would just go to, you know, jail, bond out, fight it in court. No. Nigga, you go to prison and you can fight it from prison. That's what you do. You go to prison first, and while you in prison, you go to a revocation hearing, what they call a revocation hearing, and then because you violated by getting a charge, period, they can take away as much time as they want to. They can give you as much time off of your violated time as they want to. And then whatever your time is for the crime you committed, then you can that'll serve, you could be serving that inside of the time you already got. You know, if they want to be nice to you, they'll wait to you while you fighting that crime, but they'll hold you in jail the whole time you fighting that crime. And if you beat that crime, they'll let you out. If they want to be nice. Or if they want to, you know, kind of be nice but mean, they'll just make you do like 5 years off of the 20. You know what I'm saying? Give you another chance. They'll just make you do a little 5 here, little 2 here, little 3 there. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, I know how this shit work. This is Georgia. I got put on a 10 do 3. This is what it's called, a split sentence in Georgia. They got him with a 40 do 20 and then 5, but to serve 5. So these 15 years gonna be on intense probation, and they're gonna put him on unsupervised probation for the other 20. The nigga just signed up for a 40-year enslavement. Why not fight the shit to the end? Why not fight it to the end? You done came this far, and the nigga wanted to go home for Christmas. When you tell a nigga you can go home today, do you know the mental?
Yo,
hold on 1 second. Let me finish this.
I can't hear you.
My bad, there I go. Hold on 1 second. Let me finish this point.
All right.
Do y'all know the mental that it fucks with a man when you tell him he can go home today? Instead of going, you know what I'm saying? And he know that he gonna have to wait for possibly another year or 2, possibly 3, just to get his full freedom. Possibly might have to do 5, because if he lost that case, which I highly doubt, I think that jury would have not found him guilty. Not 12 motherfuckers in that jury from Atlanta, and I think 10 of them was black. And they seen how that bullshit. They was gonna let Thug go. I don't know about the rest of them niggas. They wasn't gonna find that nigga guilty on all of those charges. I would have rather took my chance with that shit and being able to appeal. And yeah, I would have had to ride for a little bit more. And that's the hard part to explain to people, because everybody like, nigga, I want to get out of jail. I've been locked up, but that's how they get you. That's how they get you. You so tired of being in jail, you will plead out some shit that you did not do. And you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying he didn't do it, but they wasn't proving that he did it. Because I think the nigga did everything they were saying he did, but they wasn't proving it. What's good, T.Y.? You want to throw
what up, though? No, like, I'm going to go back. His lawyer wanted to fight it, so I think he would have beat most of the charges, except far as it being gang related.
Hold on, let me put in on that. His lawyer knew this, what we're saying. That's why you said you're right. His lawyer wanted to fight it because of that. Only charges he wouldn't have been able to beat is the drug charges of the drugs that were actually in his house.
And being gang related and gang related charges.
Yeah, the gang related charges.
Here's the part that people need to get ready. Within 2 years, he back in jail. You know why? He's on a 15-year probation. So you know what that means? That means he can argue with his girlfriend. She can call the cops. They can come hit him up for domestic violence, and he violated.
Anything. Everybody got him by the balls now. He could be in a store minding his business, not saying shit, and a white lady could call the police and say, I think he's stealing. And just because you have an encounter with the police,
I got one better.
Your shit.
I got one better. He can throw a concert, somebody can get hurt in that shit, and go to him, and they hit him up with charges.
Right.
Like this dude literally, he gotta live in he gotta live in a bubble now. He has to live in a bubble and have people sign DNAs every time they come around him. You're going to sign DNA every time you come around. You're going to sign something. You got the cameras on him the whole time to protect his innocence and keep his freedom. It's crazy,
bruh. He can get jammed up the same way. What's that nigga out of Alabama just got jammed up? Honeycomb Breezy. You know what I mean? You see how they set him up? He thought he was with security.
And yeah,
to find out the security officer had a situation where he lost his goddamn gun license, so he ain't supposed to have a fucking gun.
And
so now
guess what?
You doing time because you know what I'm saying?
And listen, the phone call. So he can call somebody now. They can say the wrong thing to him on the phone, and they coming to get him.
Hell yeah! What's good, Tamika?
What's up, Earz? What's up, T.Y.?
I'm gonna let DJ Cleveland get in here 1 second, and then I'm gonna let you go, Tamika. Go ahead, DJ Cleveland. Oh, you say you don't think your microphone is good? Okay, go ahead, Tamika. Then.
No, I was just gonna comment on what y'all saying. Y'all are so right, because he has to be on the straight and narrow. Like, I's dotted, all that.
Man, I'm talking about more than straight and narrow. You gotta be like,
you
gotta
just really be wrapped up.
I can tell y'all. I would tell y'all how he can stay on the straight and narrow. The only way he can stay on the straight and narrow is when he go on tour, he hire a probation officer from that office to go on tour with him. Have somebody, a police officer or probation officer, somebody that's under the umbrella on duty, so they know, he's doing what he's supposed to do. That's the only way he's gonna be able to fly now.
My son said the same exact thing, Ty. But another thing, this is what he probably was thinking. Listen, he was facing 40 fucking years, okay? You know what I'm saying? So 40 years plus versus 15 years probation. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna go ahead and, in his situation, I would have went ahead and fought it. I know that's hard to believe. I would have went ahead and fought, because if they did find me guilty, I don't think they would have found me guilty of all of those things that they had me charged with. So
you know why he didn't fight it though?
But hold on, let me finish this point. But say they found him guilty of the gang charge and maybe the RICO charge, because pretty much that's pretty much anything. You got found in anything. So they could have hit him with 40, but he could have appealed it and been back in, he probably had to do about 6, 7.
I think he would probably did about 15 for sure.
About 15.
Because they was trying to get his ass.
But
so I feel
they was trying, but I'm saying as far as how they handled that case, I believe he would have beat that case, because I don't think 12 people in that jury would have found him guilty of all those charges, or even the serious.
So let me ask you something, Earz. So you think you would have made that? You would have betted that? Okay, they ain't gonna get me for about 6 and 7 years. You know what I'm saying? You don't. I mean, he probably like they trying to get him. He was a high profile celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he would have really took it all the way there. You know what I'm saying? They would probably try to make an example out of him by giving him 10 or 15.
No. This was a political move, and y'all failed to realize it went just 2 years. This was 2.5, going on 3 years that he been locked up.
Let me hold on. Let me put in this point also. Thug wanted to go home. Of course, everybody wanted to go home after 2 years, but they knew their case was falling apart. That's the whole reason they started offering all the pleas. So, his lawyers wanted to keep going because his lawyers knew they had him by the balls. But their lawyers also understand that this man been in here all this time. He want to be home with his kids. And if he does right, he pretty much got to quit rap. Because you can't rap about nothing that you
No, he got the freedom. He got the First Amendment. He be good with the rapping.
Man, listen to you. They just told this man he can't say nothing that's pretty much made his career. He can't say.
But guess what though? He can release older shit that ain't got nothing to do with the present. Like the record label, like we've been holding on to this way for him to get out. You know what I'm saying? And then the DATs would show that older shit.
You really want to gamble like that?
If it's the DAT and the computer showing his old stuff, they ain't nothing got nothing to do with him. That's the label. He's out now.
Do you really want to gamble? I agree. But
if the label releases it, it's nothing he can do, and that's probably already set up. He had to get out. He was running out of money. He had to get out.
Do you want to sit in jail while they litigate whether this is old shit or new shit? Because now you're back in jail. Now you're back to square one. Wondering if they're going to make you do the whole 20.
But here's the funny part. Listen, he's banned. He's banned from Atlanta, but he got to go there and do community service. That don't make sense. That right there is like, what? I'm banned, but I got to go back to do community service for the city of Atlanta.
Now we got you working for us. It's like Bruno Mars out there in fucking Vegas. That nigga
He's a slave.
He's a slave. They just made this nigga a legal slave for 40 years.
So he basically like a little dirt.
15 if he a good
Hey, but listen, check this out. But you know what? We can't be mad because Young Thug owns a lot of land, so he's never gonna be broke.
No, Georgia owns a lot of land because if he fuck up, all that's Georgia shit.
And I think that's why they nailed him, because he was buying so much real estate there. I think this is all political move anyway.
Nah, they was really fucking up Atlanta. I mean, I'm just gonna.
So I want to ask both of y'all, as being black men, Earz, to be a black man, what would you have done? For real. If
I was in his situation, only in his situation, and how they were fucked up and they kept fucking up, and I know they're trying to get a mistrial. I would have took my chances with that and hoping that the judge would have said mistrial with prejudice. That way they can't retry me. You know what I'm saying?
And you would have stayed in jail.
No, they would have let him out because they can't retry me because it would have been a mistrial with prejudice.
Not even the judge seen the judge was shocked and she seen some things going.
Yeah,
but I think because he picked the plea, right? But since he picked the plea, the judge is like, "I'm going to do this because you did this." So she got, as a judge, she has to throw the book at him a little bit, even though she know you've been through a lot. You've been through more than what you should have been through. But as a judge, I got to do was guidelines to the law. And if I was him, I would have fought that shit.
Because she pretty much gave him the minimum on all the charges.
But
I know. But if he mess up, she's throwing that shit on the back end though. So she gonna if he mess up, she like, oh, I'm dicking you because I'm throwing that shit on the back end.
But she told all them niggas that, even that nigga. My bad. Go ahead. Go to me.
No, I'm sorry, Earz. But did y'all realize what his lawyer kept saying? I don't agree with this, but he wanted to go home.
Right.
That's what he kept saying. He kept looking at him. I don't agree with what he wanted, because he knew that if you take this 15-year probation, you fucked. So he wanted to go in.
Listen, I know what it's like to be locked up for something that you didn't do and go to trial.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, let me tell y'all something. I don't know what state y'all stay in. I stayed in Georgia and I've been under this system.
I'm in Michigan.
Okay, but
I'm in Michigan.
I've been under this Georgia system when I did my time. That 15 years, if he violate within that, it triggers the 40. He can do if he do 15 without a jaywalk, he good. But the minute he get the slightest bullshit, it triggers the 40 and the 25 years mandatory to do in prison.
Yeah.
So I'm him. He's basically on house arrest, to be honest with y'all. He's like, listen, I'm staying in the crib. All my cameras running 24 hours a day. Anybody come in here, I got audio, I got video. Y'all not jamming me.
But listen, y'all don't realize. The judge said the backdoor sentence that if he do the 15 years probation without anything happening, which I really highly doubt, it's not he gonna be on the straight and narrow in 15 years. The 20 years of the other shit is gonna come in play. So basically, if he violate his 15-year probation, right? The 20-year sentence that's in the backdoor. If he violate the 15-year probation, that's 35 years. Did y'all get that?
Oh yeah, because I got it. Trust me, I got it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I understand what he's doing.
Right.
He's so desperate to get out and see his kids grow up
after 2 years
and trying to be right.
I ain't gonna lie, know what I'm saying, bro. That ain't gangster. I ain't gonna lie, y'all thinking 2 years, man. I know niggas that stand on their head and gonna get that out the way, man.
Listen, if you've been living your best life, if you've been out there living your best life, and you get locked up 30, 60 days, 90 days ain't good.
I've known niggas that ain't been living their best life, nigga, and they stood down and did that.
Listen, let me tell y'all, your Earz.
Listen, Big Meech is the best example, huh?
I was just about to say that. So niggas,
let me tell you, when I got locked up,
4, 5 years, my nigga to beat.
When I got locked up, it was a week after my birthday. I was living my best life, and the cops whipped up on me and mistake me for somebody else, and that was 90 days gone. I had to take that all the way to trial.
I don't fuck. Yes. I don't like Bootsy, but I keep it real about Bootsy. Now this was gangster here. He stayed his ass down that whole time and fought them trials. And got
he was on death row.
He could have easily took a plea and got the fuck on. You know what I'm saying?
Look at him now. The feds on his head right now, though.
But we ain't talking about after that. We talking about the situation.
Yeah,
that happened. That one situation. That nigga
and guess what? And that's what I'm saying, because
he stayed down. He was facing death. You can't face no further than that.
But that's what I'm telling you. When you beat the authorities on something, they never get their eye off of you. They're like, "Oh, you got us. We be back." They never give up.
You just can't do stupid shit like walking around with a gun in your goddamn hip and on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on you. So, but in that situation, that's what I mean. Staying down, and it's gonna look crazy. They gonna be all this litigation and all that shit. But he stayed down for about 6 years, beat that shit, and he ain't had that shit on his record.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. But like I say, we can always speculate what we can do when saying if we was in that position. I really understand. I really do, Earz.
And you gotta understand the power of an appeal also. And to get your life back, and then even then you could sue them motherfuckers for holding you, you know what I'm saying?
You can get some money out after that. But are you really willing to take that chance of like, if I go through all this?
If I was thug, because already think about this also. They got an election coming, right? The white lady said if she can get in office, she free and thug. The trial might roll over into that motherfucker, or even if it do.
Listen.
That's what
she did
said.
that. She did that for a political move.
We don't know. She might have did it. Shit, Trump said he was going to let
I didn't know that part.
Let me say something. I think
these motherfuckers to do what they want to say, what they want to do.
Listen, that's why another reason why I think he took the plea deal, because he think if Trump get in office, I'm gonna buy him off, and he'd go
that
ahead.
Ain't federal. That ain't federal. This is state. This is GBI, not FBI.
Well, then he can still pay the governor.
Nah, trust me. His best bet would have been that woman that was about to be the new attorney general.
So you think he made a bad choice, Earz, is what you're saying?
I think he did make a bad choice, but I understand. I don't agree with his choice, but I understand.
I agree exactly what you just said. I think he made a bad choice too, because 15 years being on the straight and narrow is not a good thing, because it's not going to happen. But I think he was thinking about his children and his mother. You know, he you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he wanted to get out.
He gonna have to join the church, be best friends with a pastor to keep,
I think what Thug should do is just not rap ever fucking again. Just go into whatever business ventures he do and just disappear. Let y'all niggas have this bullshit. Take his goddamn ball and go the fuck home.
Yep.
He can be a writer though. Hey, he can always write for somebody else.
I don't want to be near y'all niggas. Cause
let me
tell you what they just did for Thug, and it's a blessing in disguise. Because one of the reasons Thug is in the situation he in right now, because he felt obligated to the people around him. You know what I'm saying? When you got the money and shit. They just pretty much banned every blood-sucking motherfucker that could possibly come around you. So you have now you have an excuse. Nigga, I can't talk to you, nigga, the feds. I mean, because the police say I can't talk to you. Even your own people. Your homeboy that think that,
he only can communicate with his brother and Gunna. Look, that's only one he can communicate with.
All these clout chasing ass rappers that gonna want to call him and want to try to nigga, I ain't gotta talk to none of y'all niggas, because the law told me I can't talk to y'all. Now I got an excuse. Well, I ain't gotta be around nothing of nothing. What I'm gonna do is invest, do some solid investing, and fucking goddamn go in the woods somewhere and just the fucking pill, like just act like I'm dead. I'm a legend. Just go away, bro. You're a legend. Make these niggas say, "Where's Thug?"
Right. But
I think we got to
listen, man.
Make your shit
can you
so
imagine?
legendary, like fucking Michael Jackson. Like all your music is legendary right now.
But guess what? Can you imagine how much it costs for a special appearance verse from him? That shit probably $1 million a verse.
Man, we gonna make it 8. Cause nigga, I ain't coming out of motherfucking high.
It's gonna be way more than that.
Long he on curse. Listen, he ain't got a curse.
I'm a write in the clause, nigga. If I get in trouble for doing a song with you, nigga, you pay for all my goddamn lawyer fees.
Man, he can just talk about strip clubs and shit like that. He'll get paid, bro. He can talk about strip clubs.
Every clause, every time I rap with a nigga. Hey, if I get fucked up for rapping with you, your company is responsible for paying all my legal fees.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. So what y'all think about now? Okay, everybody was all on Gunna and was dissing him. He requested that the only person he wanted to really deal with is Gunna and his brother, right? That was in gang related shit, right? So what y'all think about now?
He's contracted. He's
contractual, right?
He's
but still, it's the. But listen, so I'm asking, do y'all think that Gunna really told on him?
I think he still did, a violation of what he stood for, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because way because in the court they asked him yeah, we got you in a car with all these drugs or whatever, and you said they're not yours, correct? And he said yes.
You're right.
And
I remember that.
And they asked him, you said that YSL is a gang, and you're aware of, crimes that they've committed in furtherance of the gang. And he said yes. And you're signing to that as you're getting out. And that's the only reason to your term. So that is. He sure did say that. I remember that. Yeah. So, but it's just weird. It's a lot of red tape that I'm looking at. I'm just looking at and like you said, Earz, he can do anything. And TY, you said the same shit. He can sneeze bad, and they oh shit, he sneezed on me, and he going back for 20 some years.
Listen, all he can do, drop an album, no cursing, don't talk about no violence. He still can make good music. Dude got vocals and shit. He can do some songs with Drake. You know what I'm saying? He do some songs with a lot of people that would have him do regular songs. The upcoming rappers, long as there ain't no violence and shit like that, he can just get paid. Just like you say, retire. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's the holidays. He home with his family. That's what he was thinking about.
I'm about to make a prediction, y'all. I got a vision. Him and Kanye gonna make a Lord is God album.
No, Kanye be the first one messing up, get him locked up. He say some stupid shit.
Kanye ain't gang related, so he can work with Kanye. He might work with Jay-Z.
I think I don't know.
He can work with the big wigs only.
But what do you think, Earz, that he need to work with to make him to do one album, right?
Yeah.
And just be done with the whole shit and just chill and not be in no
mood.
Who do you think he needs to be around?
I think whatever he's contracted to, because he's probably still contracted to somebody an album or two. I would get done with those, last two albums. I make them motherfuckers.
But guess what? He can make an album.
Hold on real quick. I would make those, as you gotta decipher them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, as possible. And I would just go on with the win, man. Take your check and take your ball and go home. Go ahead, T.Y.
No, I was saying he can make an album by his days locked up and what not to do. He was in there 2.5 years. So he can make a positive record about not being locked up. And, what to do. He could talk about his real estate and how he went from this type of rapper, his life on the line to owning businesses, being an entrepreneur and all that other stuff. I mean, he still can do it. The dude got crazy talent just to say, I'm not doing this no more.
I think his best bet to be, and this is my personal opinion, and this is, I've never bought a Young Thug album. I'm not a Young Thug fan, but I'm fan of some songs, okay? But something I would definitely go and check out of his, if he did a audio book. You ain't got to sing to me. Just tell me what you was thinking through all this shit that I was going on.
No, I got one better.
I got one sing to me. Shit.
No, this is what you should do.
Have somebody, hire a, editor, and, so they could point out certain times in courts what you was thinking. When the nigga tried to hand you some dope, all that shit, what you was thinking. Just do a documentary and narrate it and shit, man. Please.
Now listen, this dude got many books of rhymes. Man, he can link up with Lil Wayne and pass that stuff on. Like I said, he can pass those books on. He can be a writer behind the scenes and just get credit for production and writing. He ain't got, you know what I'm saying? He'll still get paid. He'll still be all right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if it's about, just getting paid, of course he want to get his money back or whatever, but he got gun out there making money for him and shit, man. Like I said, I stay far away from music because when you make music, they're going to want you to do shows. When you do shows, you got to expose yourself. When you got to expose yourself,
unless you do in a big arena,
it's going to put you at risk. If I was him, I would not expose myself.
Hey, he can do it in big arenas only, no small stuff.
I wouldn't expose myself. That mean, nigga, and only time I'm leaving my compound is when I'm going to court and back or to do my community service and back. Everything else, nigga, we better do a video shoot in my yard. Shit.
Yeah. But I feel like this. He need to invest in Tubi movies, rental properties, stuff behind the scenes. Like you said, he been in there for 2.5 years, and TY, you said he done got some music he haven't published yet, or I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, get it 1 or 2 albums out or whatever they call it now. I don't know if it's albums or whatever, and just chill, and then just invest in shit like rental properties, Tubi movies, you know what I'm saying, documentaries, and just leave all that shit alone, so you don't have to be involved with people that you don't know if they, got a case against them or nothing like that. Because anything you're involved with, they're gonna look at who you know what I'm saying, who you working with. So if they feel that you're working with somebody that got a criminal history or got criminal cases pending, they can get you for that shit too. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm him, I'd do an album crazy, put that shit in the vault, and soon I'm off probation. Fuck that judge. Fuck everybody.
Yeah. But it's 15 years though. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something that's gonna last you for 15 years and just chill.
No, he got property. He got real estate and stuff like that. Like I said, he got his record label. He still can sign other people. And you know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna pass the songs along. That's what I think he's gonna do.
But he got to realize that whoever he signed on his company got to be on a straight and narrow too, because they can connect that shit back to him too. You know what I'm saying? And he back in prison.
I mean, he's just a writer. You know what I'm saying? You can be a writer. That don't mean you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a writer. It's his company.
Okay, I get that part. But I'm just saying, like,
but just on the record of the other artists that we've seen go through these long trials and all that, we seen over time they get a little comfortable. I spoke of Bootsy earlier. We seen he went through all that. He got really comfortable, did something crazy. We seen people like Kodak. He went through, Hey, hold on real quick. You underwater real quick. Let me finish your point real quick. Real quick. We seen Kodak. Kodak, he had a big situation come up, and then it only took about 3, 4, 5 years till he started getting a little sloppy with it. So my point is, how long do you think that, he can stay on the straight and narrow and not lead to his ways if you think he's
a year? That he going back, bro. I'm gonna tell you. That's why I said within 2 years he going back. I don't care if it's a violation. They hold him in a holding cell to investigate. They ain't gonna be keeping listen, especially as long as Fanny down there. And I ain't gonna lie. I hope she go to Washington, because as long as she in Georgia, man, she gonna be calling, making phone calls. Y'all keep your eye on them. Y'all watching them.
So now let me ask that question. I'm glad you brought up Fanny. Do y'all think that she did a good thing or a bad thing with her attempt to,
to the community?
Hold on real quick. Let me finish real quick, bro. Like, because we got to understand now, if you lived in Atlanta or around that area, or familiar with it, there was a bad gang problem around there, and Thug them was tearing up shit. So, her running on that and having this trial and rounding them people up, and even though some people could call it success for them, I think it was a success for them, as far as the state. And, and because they got a lock on all of these niggas. They got all these niggas by the balls. If they do any of this weird shit they was doing, they pretty much got all these niggas locked up for life. They still got the 2 defendants that they got there, you know what I'm saying, who are the main killers, who are looking at like 60 years and shit like that. They ain't got a chance without Thug being tied up in this. So do you think that Fanny actually kind of won in this situation because she did do a service for the community?
As a politician, I would say, yeah. If you, like you said, if he was causing havoc or his members was causing havoc through the community, then yeah, they happy. A lot of people happy this got cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like it's going to definitely be a mark for her and her political career going up. Like, I cleaned the streets of ATL. Forget what what y'all talk about. I did this. So yeah, she's going to take this and she's going to move up and run for congressman or a senator. But yeah, this is what she's going to do, seeing how she can clean up communities and people going to buy into it. So this is definitely a check for her.
But take the politics out of it, whatever you feel like, because I don't care what party she with or if any of that stuff. I'm just saying the general job, actually her job as, attorney general or whatever her job is, and that's her job, is to clean up the streets. Do we just give her credit for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta say, you gotta give her credit, even though her stuff, she got caught in some stuff that was kind of messy and how she did
but
things.
Outside of all that. You know what I'm saying?
Outside of all that,
Because that's what we tend to do. We don't congratulate people when they do something good, even though we like the entertainment. But if y'all niggas, compared to the evidence, all these people that were dying, and it wasn't just these gang members that were dying, it was kids that was getting shot. It was an innocent woman that was just coming home from work getting robbed. It was
a little boy too, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of civilians that got caught up in they bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, everybody can say free thug and all that, but if that all that shit was true, yeah, I agree. Y'all fucked it up as far as the case. But them folks know what the fuck was going on. It's just hard to break all that shit down because they ain't in the streets. But y'all see what these niggas had going on. That girl that died with that dude Shannon, what they talked about, I heard about that because I was in Atlanta at that time. They was trying to kill him because of them killing that dude Nut. They was trying to kill him. They shot up the car, but they shot the girl that was driving in the head. They were just going to get something to eat. But they seen the niggas at the chicken and fish place. And as she was driving, he got in the car. The niggas goddamn sped up behind him, shot up the car, and the car flipped 3 times, but they shot her in the head. Car flipped 3 times, flipped off the road. Shannon, he broke his spleen and all kind of shit. Which is the dude with the dreads that was in the courtroom. But that lady, that young lady lost her life. You know, it was a lot of bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some people hate that woman because they was hating the old girl, the black lady that was the prosecutor for. That's her job to be hated because she was seeking justice.
Oh yeah, I'm not mad at her doing her job. You know, like you said, she cleaned up the community. So the elderly that's been there in ATL a long time and seen a lot of young people and stuff, drugs and gang violence take over. Yeah, they very happy. They invest in their property. Property value about to go up. It probably went down. So like, yeah, if you lady doing her job, cool. But you're gonna have them people saying, "Oh man, Fanny this, Fanny that," for her political career. But she was doing her job, like you said.
Yeah, and a lot of people ain't liking the fact that you took a dude that was promoting, like when Thug started that blood shit, I ain't gonna lie, Lil Wayne, he gave it a little tilt. But when Thug started that shit, nigga, it turned, blood started popping up every goddamn way. I mean, the gang shit just went off the fucking meter. You know what I'm saying? With the dresses and the tight pants and the nigga was fucking up the game. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? So, and if y'all would have seen the level of violence that was going on in Atlanta, boy, that shit was real. So, and that was her city. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a nice black city. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that have that shit be like Chicago. And you know, a lot of people are mad because that was their favorite rapper. But shit.
That's what it boils down to. Your favorite rapper got locked up. You're not vibing to his music no more. He ain't making no new music. All these other rappers coming out, you know, copping the style a little bit. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you look at everything at the end of the day, everybody could say how sloppy the trial was. Everybody could say how much they pissed off at the woman, whatever. At the end of the day, they got their target. They got this nigga on a 40-year slave plan.
And Earz, you know what that do?
Hey, hold on. He put himself there now. I'm not saying like he a victim or something. But they got this nigga on a 40-year slave plan because this nigga had the city terrorized and all that shit, and they set a fucking example. Now, who else want to get in line? Lil Durk. I'm going to get to him in a little bit, but go ahead and say what you're going to say real quick.
No, I was about to say, they basically got the king of ATL, and now they got him on papers. So now they let everybody else know we not going for this no more. You know what I'm saying?
But you got somebody on the other and that's trying to run, telling all them niggas, "Hey, I'll let go y'all free rapper if y'all vote me in. I'll let go y'all favorite rapper if you vote me in." They try to make it like Fanny did something bad, but she just made this nigga a whole gang plea out to what, you know, yeah, they had to spend a lot of money. But this nigga got 40 pretty much, or he got to be a goddamn Christian rapper. The other nigga, he was supposed to get 3 life sentences now. This is the nigga that skated. Because that nigga should have had 3 life sentences and he got out with 9 years. But if he fuck up, he got to do 25 also. But that's still
now what happens now to the other dude that's, you know, that snitched and now he doing YouTube videos and all that?
Man,
I forgot that dude.
I'm about to get to him. See, he's still on papers too. But see, they can't do nothing to him while the trial and all that. They coming for him. He gonna be getting those little breakdown years, little 3 here, little 5 here, little 2 here. And I'm not wishing that on him or nothing like that, but they gonna make it hard for him eventually, but they had to let him chill until this shit is over with.
Yeah, Woody about to go and hide.
He better. You know what I'm saying? He better. Because they gonna keep him in they target too. He can't hide because you state property. So you always got to be known where the police got to know where you at. So, you know, he can never hide. And that was the point of what they did.
What something happened to Woody?
They want to have.
If something happened to Woody, they gonna pin that on Thug.
Nah, they ain't gonna pay no shit because they gonna know who did it because they watching all them niggas. All these niggas, they got legal permission to have on all these niggas under surveillance 24 hours a day now. That's what they didn't have back then, and that's why the crime was rapid. So now that they got that, all the links, connections, anything to them niggas, nobody want no part of it. And we got to keep this in mind too. Young Thug is done with the state. The federal government could come about that machine gun because he pleaded guilty to it. So I don't know if that was, I ain't no lawyer. I don't know if that was a good idea to plead guilty to that machine gun because now you're talking about federal and, you know, if the Fed want to step in, they could make his day a little bit harder.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm going to get back in the chat, man.
Salute to you.
All right, man. Peace.
Yeah, they could make his day a little bit harder. You know, but hopefully, you know, if he learned from it, I think everybody should get a second chance. I mean, 2 years, I mean, shit. Most niggas do 2 years. Hell, I did 3 years. So, you know, and your life is on the line or whatever. Of course, you're gonna press that panic button, but I think he could have. He should have just rolled that one out. Of course, we know he was the big fish, but at the end of the day, even if they would have found him guilty, the sentencing would have been on the judge, and the judge would have seen all the mistakes, all the bullshit. Even if the judge would have gave it a mistrial, I believe she would have did it with prejudice, so they couldn't retry him because she was she knew that that's what they kept saying.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Earz? Because this is like my phone went real low.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh yeah, but I understand exactly what you're saying about that. But I do also understand what Young Thug did. Also, he was just taking a chance. He was desperate. He was probably tired, you know. And I think he probably would have got off without less than 15 years probation. To be honest.
Right. And like I said, that would have been a chance to take, but now you just stuck with it. You know, it's like, and you know that's.
Can he revise that or no?
Huh?
Can he revise that appeal or whatever?
No, that's the thing about it.
It's set in stone.
Yeah, once you take a plea, there's no appealing, none of that. You giving up all your rights. You plead.
Damn.
You pleading guilty. And then you gave an open sentence to the judge, and you know,
damn.
Luckily the judge, you know, just wanted to be fair about it because when Thug turned down the 15 years of probation at first, then the DA tried to say, okay, we recommend that he get 40 years and have to serve 25.
Right.
And you know, and then the judge was like, then they left it to the judge of like, nah, we're gonna let you decide. But we're going to plead guilty on these charges. So the judge was like, man, I ain't going to do that bullshit she trying to do. But the guidelines would be in a range about 40 years. I don't have to make you do any. I can make you do at least 10 of these years or 15, and that would be a favor. But, you know what I'm saying,
right.
Being the fact that they were going to let you out today with probation, I don't think, you know, it tells me that you're not that serious. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And I see the potential, and I see all the traction that this bringing, and all the bullshit that's gonna end in a mistrial. You know, she know it's probably best for him to fight it out, but she can understand his ass supposed to be locked. He tired of being locked up too. So the fact that he willing to take something, she gave him the softest ball possible.
Yeah, she did. She sure did. She probably like, why do you take that, nigga? I was gonna give you something less, you know.
Right, nigga. If you would have went, if you would have went through the end, and you would have left, and because all they could do is prove you guilty, I still could have gave you the softest ball possible and let you go home and just let you be on papers for all this shit.
Yep. But since you pleaded guilty, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I don't think that jury. I can't see no fucking jury of 12 unless they was an all white jury. But knowing that the jury set up in there where they had 10 black people in the jury, You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Ain't no
But
damn
see,
way.
that's why I asked you, Earz, were you willing to take that chance as he was? By him being a millionaire black person, do you think that he was willing to let a jury of white people or even the peers of white people make his destiny? If
it was white people, then that would be a different story. But I'm talking about the actuality of it, that it wasn't that many white people. It couldn't have, there's more of a black people makeup in that jury than it was white people. Just from, when they did the jury pull up. I think it was 16 altogether, but 10 of them was black. So even if you put 2 on the side, you still got at least 8 black people. Out of a 12 jury.
Yeah.
So as much as they messed up that case, I don't think they could have proved him guilty of any of that stuff.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm just on the really on the back end of it. I think I understand him as a black man, that had a lot going for himself. Did he want to take that chance of having? What if they gave him, instead of 40 years, they gave him 20? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What if they gave him 15 years or 5 years? He was still been without his family. Now he's with his family and doing 15 years probation, and he knowing it's hard that he, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, it could be anything that make him go back to prison. I don't know if I'm willing to take that chance, but we ain't in that, you know what I'm saying, predicament that he was in.
You're right. And we and like I say, we always thinking about the right now, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years from now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He could be facing a whole nother situation.
Right.
20 years now, and you ain't got the same money that you had back now, hopefully.
So let me ask you this.
But,
Let me ask you this, though. So if he do 10 years good, right?
Right.
And something happened, how much? So he got to do the 5 years, or what years he got to do?
It triggers the whole 40. So now he got to do 20.
Wow. Oh man. For
real?
real?
Yes. It violates his intense probation. See, those 15 years are intense probation.
Because the 20 years of the other stuff is still on the back end, they say.
That's why they keep calling it the back end.
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
The back end kick in if you can't finish that 15-year stretch.
Damn. So even if you do 12 years good, that still don't fucking matter.
He could do goddamn 14 and 363 days and fuck up that last day, and it could trigger the rest of it.
God damn. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, he did kind of fuck up then.
But
yeah,
I mean, it's like you got to sit there and think of it, man. Go home today, and they did that psychologically, to make him do that. Like, damn, I could be home tomorrow in my mansion, or I can fucking fight this out for another year and a half. And you hear niggas in there banging on the walls and count time and all that shit, and you like, oh man, I'm fucked this. I'm going home.
But did you see how many times his lawyer kept on saying, I don't agree with him? He kept looking at me and said, but that's what he want to go home with his kids.
Damn right.
The lawyer know that he could have just wait a little while longer. You could be out freely,
It's hard to tell a nigga that after you done told a nigga, you can go home today, nigga.
Yeah.
You can go home today.
Yeah.
That's where the devil kicked in. That's how you know they lost.
Exactly.
And the lawyers don't want to really tell him this because he gonna feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He might not deal with them in the future. But the lawyers know, they like, man, that's when you know they lost. Why would they want to let you go free today? They just want to put you away for life. Why would they want to let you go free today?
But then again, you know what? The prosecutors might seem when they disappointed, but they don't. Like, we gonna get him on any motherfucking thing.
We'll get him down the line. We'll let him.
Yeah.
We ain't done with you, nigga. Let's just handle these last two niggas right here that tried to hide behind you. Because now y'all niggas ain't about to get no goddamn coverage on fucking CNN and all that shit like that. And they about to fucking pull all the motherfucking tricks out. Have y'all niggas plea out the motherfucking 60 years And then they'll come back and as soon as goddamn thug make the slightest mistake, and like I said, the feds could come in too, and want to do something about that machine gun because he pleaded guilty to it.
Yep. Huh? So that's why that's why they might seem disappointed, but they really ain't disappointed. They ain't disappointed because they know they're gonna get them on the slightest thing. Yep.
So I'm gonna review this video with y'all or whatever, because like I said, I didn't see too many people who was saying that. A lot of people just saying, okay, thug free. They reading out all of the all the stipulations or whatever to his freedom and everything. But I haven't seen anybody break it down like I seen this brother here break it down. So I'm gonna do a reaction to his breakdown. If you want to stay up here, you're welcome to. But if not, I'm gonna do this reaction to this video real quick. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah, you good. All right, shout out to Florida Flocko.
My phone is really low. I don't understand why I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, so I'm about to do a reaction to this video or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down and probably come back up because it's really. I think it's because I had my Bluetooth on first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drop down and then I'm gonna come back up for your reaction.
All right.
Sorry.
Bet. So he does a great breakdown of this. So I'm gonna go through it with it, and we'll do a lot of go over some of the talking points or whatever, and everything you can fact check yourself. So
after accepting a plea deal to end his trial. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly why Young Thug accepting that plea deal will be the worst mistake Young Thug has ever made. Young Thug was initially denied any plea deals. The DA Fannie Willis was very clear. Young Thug was her target, and she offered plea deals to everybody around Young Thug to testify against Young Thug. However, that changed when Slime Life Shawty took the stand to testify, and he said this.
And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay. Him saying free Quay literally took the air out of the courtroom. Like, you could see the judge's face. She was just demoralized. Now, the reason why that's a big issue is because Quay is a co-defendant in the YSL RICO. Now, there's a presumption of ignorance where the jury is not supposed to know that a defendant is in jail, and them being in jail should serve no bearing on their guilt.
And that's been the case through this whole trial. Trying to pretend, keep having to tell the damn jury, oh, scratch that from your heads. Act like that didn't happen. You can't keep telling these folks to act like that didn't happen. Keep acting like people not in jail.
Which is why it's not allowed. However, Slime Life Shawty was asked to read his Instagram caption, and the prosecutors asked him to read the hashtags, and he read all the hashtags and he didn't say free Quay. Then the prosecutors asked, are there any more hashtags to read? And he said, yeah, free Quay. So the prosecutors essentially let Slime Life Shawty to read free Quay, knowing that's a big no-no. So when he did so, that's clear grounds for a mistrial, clear grounds.
But we seen 4, 5, 6, 7, 18 fucking clear grounds for mistrial. So that ain't never been, that ain't gonna never be a thing. If you paid attention to any bit of this shit, you'll know that, man, these folks asked for so many mistrials, they did so much slimy ass shit.
So obviously, the defense attorney stood up and asked for a mistrial.
Now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial. Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them. And this
man, the state brought in so many witnesses that were the worst witnesses. Like, these are your witnesses, the state witnesses. They supposed to be helping the state prove their case. But all the witnesses they brought, these niggas was stonewalling, filibustering, playing dumb. Some of them made YouTube careers, social media careers. This shit definitely gonna go down in history. I mean, the Diddy shit gonna get wild too, but this shit here, for right now.
This has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells. Hold on, Matthews, before you say we have a stipulation. F, Judge, once you rule on our mistrial,
Right.
on my motion for mistrial.
Okay, so are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Ms. Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled, and I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry, y'all have.
I think she really knows that, but that's why she said that. And she's like, okay, even if, I think that was her signal to say, if this does go into reach mistrial, I'm not gonna allow it to be tried again.
Of, you know, this
was like the 400th mistake that the state has made. And at some point, the defense attorney stopped thinking, okay, these are mistakes. No, these are deliberate mistakes to try to get a mistrial so they can go ahead and connect all the dots and all the loose ends and come back and retry Young Thug because they're getting spanked and whooped at trial. So the judge was faced with a decision to grant the mistrial with prejudice, meaning it can't be tried again, or to grant the mistrial without prejudice, meaning it can be tried again. And this was a very difficult decision for the judge because if she grants it without prejudice, right, she grants the mistrial, well, then that essentially feeds into the prosecutors and they win. And now the defense is going to appeal, take it to the Supreme Court, file all type of like motions to get the judge off the case. So the judge's like, okay, listen.
And all that time, Thug will still be locked up waiting on them to make a decision. So this is something that he got to think about, how much time he'd be sitting around in jail waiting on the proper litigation.
There's no solution right here regarding the mistrial that will be a fair solution, right? Because there's no way for us to tell the prosecutors are doing this on purpose. And if y'all believe they are and we grant a mistrial and they retry you guys, well, then like you guys will get retried again. And like, that's not fair to Thug, you know? So let's pause trial and let the defense and the state, let y'all come together and try to figure out plea deals. So after days of negotiation, a plea deal was reached between Young Thug and the state.
Participation in criminal street gang activity. How do you plead?
I plead guilty.
As to count 58.
So participating in the street gang activity. I think if he would have went all the way through, do y'all think he still would have been guilty of that charge? I haven't heard a story where he was participating in gang activity from all the witnesses. I mean, people say they knew him. Some people say they drove his car, something like that, but he's always on the road at a show. I don't think 12 people would have been able to say Young Thug was participating in some gang activity. Well, I got to take that back. All the gang signs and shit in the videos and all that stuff like that. Maybe that if that's their best, that would have been their best evidence. The gang signs and the videos, and saying the gang stuff and putting it on Instagram. So he would have still got found guilty of that.
8, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. How do
he definitely would have got that because he got caught with some drugs, so he would have been guilty of that.
you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Yeah, he would have been guilty of that.
Guilty.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
He'd have been guilty of that.
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
He'd have been guilty of that because he had the firearm when he had the drugs.
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
No.
Now, that is the one that I don't think 12 jurors would have been able to find him guilty of. And he could have still pled no contest at the time when she had the sentencing. And she could have did the same thing, did an open plea for just that charge. Or you could have got that charge dismissed because that's the biggest charge anyway.
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
He could have beat that charge all together. You ain't got to do no NOLO.
NOLO.
You ain't got to. I don't think 12 jurors could have convicted him of those 2 charges right there.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you, Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, that's where he gonna be in trouble at. Because that's still, you know, that's a federal offense right there. And he just pleaded guilty to that. I think even goddamn Brian Steele know right now. Shit. This nigga pleading guilty to a damn machine gun. We could have beat, well, no, you wouldn't have beat that charge. You might have could have. But, nah. And that's federal charge.
There are 2 types of plea deals, a negotiated plea deal and a non-negotiated plea deal. Negotiated means you and the state came to a conclusion on what the plea is and you're presenting to the judge. If you and the state cannot come to a conclusion, the judge will give out the sentence on a non-negotiated plea deal.
And that's the, you know, professional definition. I'm glad he broke that down, but we call this a blind plea. A blind plea.
Young Thug and the state, through days of negotiation, they couldn't come to an agreement. Young Thug felt like the first state offer was 15 years, you get off on time served. However, there are restrictions. Young Thug felt like the restrictions of his post-release was just too much and he couldn't do it, so he declined it.
Now, what do you think those restrictions was? That he declined it, where all he would have had to do was 15 years and he still would have went home. But it was something that they was trying to make him do that he just couldn't do. That he was willing to do a whole nother goddamn add on back in 40 years just not to do whatever it is they wanted him to do. Never talk to his brother ever again. That's probably what it was.
So when they went to court now, the state, after offering Young Thug a 15-year sentence that he turned down, they go in front of the judge and they start asking Young Thug to serve 25 years in prison of a 45-year sentence. They wanted to bury Young Thug and it didn't make sense because y'all just offered him 15 years.
At this time, the state is making a recommendation of 45 years with 25 to serve in custody, followed by 20 on probation, subject to the special requirements of 1615 the gang statute. Mr. Williams, did you discuss the state's previous offer with your attorneys?
That's crazy work.
Yes.
Okay. The total sentence was 43 years to serve, with the first 5 years in prison commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed by 23 years in prison, which would have been served in confinement, except that if defendant had complied with the special conditions of probation imposed as part of this sentence.
See, that's the same thing that the judge ended up giving him, except for the judge didn't make him do the 20 years also, because they already offered the 15 years of probation. Now, if they would have offered 10 years of doing in confinement, it might have would have been different. So the judge like, all right, y'all was going to let him go, I'm going to let him go. But he's still going to get this 40. But she just gave him the lightest 40 you could ever get. A 40 do 15 if you be good. You got to be a good house nigga, though.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams would have been released today for 15 years on probation if he successfully completes that probation. Then he would not have to go to custody. If he did not, he'd face probation revocation as well as 23 years, as the court said, backloaded in the Georgia prison system. But we could not.
That key word right there, revocation. You can get revocated for anything. And I'm talking about you don't have to be, if they want to be fair, they'll wait till after you go to trial for whatever crime that you catch. But let's say you just walk outside and the police decide to walk up and run your name. The fact that your name got ran, you can get revocated for that. You can be violated for that. Especially in the state of Georgia. So he has to be on that type of discipline for 15 years. Or have to serve those 23 years. They gave him the same thing. Except for she's not making him do the 23 years on the 40.
Not come to terms on all the conditions that the district attorney was insisting on.
Okay. All right.
But the crazy part about all of this is after Thug denied or declined the prosecutor's plea deal, Thug went in front of the judge for the non-negotiated plea deal, and he got just about the same plea deal. The only difference is that the post-release conditions is a tad bit more lax, if you want to call it that. So the judge sentenced Young Thug to 40 years with the first 5 years in prison commuted to time served, so Young Thug could go home that particular day.
Now that's a favor to Thug. Now I ain't gonna lie, because if they was telling you to do 5 years and they gonna let you go around right now and say, hey, we're gonna commute that little 5 years and just let you start this 15 years of probation. Upon service of 5 years in prison, commuted to the time served. So she just saved you by 2 years, you know, by 15 years on probation, followed by 20 backloaded years. Boy, that is some Georgia backwood ass shit. They give a nigga backloaded years in prison. And upon successful completion of a full 15 years of probation, the backloaded portion of the sentence will be commuted to time served, provided that the defendant shall comply with conditions of probation imposed by the court as part of this sentence. The defendant is subject to arrest for any violation of probation. Wow. That's the first thing they put on there. If probation is revoked, the court may order incarceration. Defendant shall comply with following general conditions of probation. Do not violate the criminal laws of any governmental unit and be of general good behavior. You better be a good nigga. Avoid injurious and vicious habits. Avoid person or places disruptible or harmful character. Shit, that's pretty much any goddamn bar. Report to the community supervision officers directed and to permit the community supervision officer to visit you at home or elsewhere. Work faithfully at suitable employment is so far as may be possible. Do not change your place of above, move outside the jurisdiction of the court, or leave Georgia without the permission of community supervised officer. If permitted to move or travel to another state, you agree to waive extradition from other states.
Now, it will be followed by 15 years on probation, followed by 20 years backloaded, and that'll be very important, and we will explain that 20 years backloaded very shortly.
I ain't got to wait too shortly. It just mean, nigga, if you can do these 15 without goddamn jaywalking, without getting into an argument, without going to a bar, without smoking weed, without popping a pill, having the police pull up at your house at any given time, having to pay for security around the clock because you can't get caught slipping, and you can't live in Atlanta, but you got to come to Atlanta when they tell you to, and you got to go stay somewhere. You still got to stay in Georgia. You still got to stay in the vicinity of Atlanta. You might can't stay in Atlanta, but you got to stay in Georgia. You can't go outside the state.
Successful completion of the full 15 years of probation, the backload portion of the sentence will be commuted to time served. Upon service of 5 years in prison, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years of probation, followed by 20 years backloaded prison, and upon successful completion of the full 15 years probation, the backloaded portion of the sentence will be commuted to time served, provided that the defendant shall comply with the conditions of probation imposed by the court as part of his sentence.
Now, we got to ask ourselves, everybody's saying, hey, he made the best deal. But what's the first deal the best deal? Because the first deal, all he would have had to do was the 15 years of probation. That way, if he violated the probation, he'd have to do the rest of the 15. But what was it that he could not do that, you know, he would rather do more time than do just only the 15? Because when he turned down the 15, that's when the DA tried to say, all right, then, nigga, we going to give you the same deal, but instead you got to do 23 years and, you know, then have 15 years on the backside. But the judge decided to, you know, flip it around.
Young Thug gets out today, and he's on probation for 15 years. And if at any time within that 15 years, Thug messes up and violates the conditions of his probation, Thug has to do 20 to 25 years in prison. Those are Young Thug's term of release. Somebody who has gone there and...
Now, I know that sounds better than... I mean, y'all tell me which one sounds better, because I don't know. You know. Thug having to finish fighting this case for, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months at the most. Because they say it's till February. So, of course, he got to stay in those 4 months. Unless they did a mistrial. But, like I said, if they do a mistrial with prejudice, then, okay, well, then they can't retry him, so they'll have to free him. But if they do without a prejudice and they try to retry him, he'll have to wait for the new trial. So we're looking at him being locked up maybe another year because, of course, they'll do a fast and speedy trial. They got to try him all over again. They probably wouldn't have all these people in the way. They'll probably have a better case. But at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, hey, I'm not in the position, so he had to weigh his options, and he had to put faith into the system. And like Tamika say, hey, you might as well go home. But hey, in my opinion, I would have probably went on here and fought that because you're fighting for the same type of time. It's just that you're getting a break. They gonna let you out, let you go home for 3, 4, 5 years, and then they gonna want the 20 years. So I guess if I'm going to have to do 40 years, I guess I might as well do a little, go home for 3 years and get relaxed. Nah, not 3 years. But I hope the man stay home the whole 15 years. But, boy, that's a long time to be. But I've done it, so he could do it. But I'm not Young Thug.
Entire life being a criminal, doing crime, getting in trouble, now has to live 15 years without any incident, or else they get 25 years in prison. Now, here are the conditions of Young Thug's sentence, or his probation conditions. Following his release, Young Thug has 48 hours to figure out where he's going to stay because it's not going to be Atlanta. He's banned for 10 years. He can only come back unless it's for funerals and weddings for family members, and it's very specific family members.
Man, that nigga going to have to roll like the fucking president when he come back to Atlanta.
He can't just claim anybody as a family member. Now, also, too, Young Thug is required to only come back to Atlanta when he has to do some civil duty. So apparently they are requiring that Young Thug has to do a live anti-gang and anti-gun.
Now, I was going to play the lady telling him all the stuff that he had to do or whatever, but it's right here in the documents, you know what I'm saying? So I do know what he's saying is accurate. He got to do a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year at a grade school, middle school, or boys and girls club or a similar group. Wow. Talking about pimping the hell out of nigga. Hey, we got a free Young Thug concert coming. The presentation may include a benefit concert. These presentations may count towards the required community service hours. During each year of his probation, defendant shall perform 100 hours of community service. God damn, 100 hours. Each year of his probation. So for 15 years, this nigga got to put in 100 hours a year. 1,500 hours, y'all, of free service. Now watch the nigga gonna come back about 2 years from now talking about how he loved doing community service and how he loved doing service for community work for his people. Cause them folks, so when they want Young Thug to do a 1-800 Crime Stopper video, are y'all gonna say the same shit y'all said about T.I.? Are y'all gonna say the same shit about T.I.? Hold on, let me get this nigga ass. Hold on, y'all. him or not.
Violence presentation 4 times a year at the middle schools and grade schools all around Atlanta. Right? They also said that Young Thug has to perform 100 hours of community service. Young Thug cannot be around any known gang members. Anybody. So I mean, rappers, meaning he can't do songs with the local.
So that mean if he's still tied to Birdman, shit. Like Birdman, nigga, don't even call me, bro. We got Mr. Birdman on the phone. Nah, I can't. Boy, I ain't gonna lie. They just gave that nigga out. You ain't gotta fuck with nobody. And he didn't tell on nobody, so all the real niggas want to fuck with him now. And he ain't gotta talk to none of these niggas. $5 days a year? Oh, okay. How long? Hell, 9 of them 5 days a year, cause shit, you can't do no, you ain't gonna work the whole 24 hours. You only gonna get about 8 hours for a day. If he do a concert, they only gonna give him credit for about 8 hours, maybe 10. They might give him 12. So nah.
Drill rapper who done popped off, he can't do no shows. He can't tour with other gang members. Yo, Young Thug has to essentially walk a line where it's like 99.9% of the people who were in his life before jail, he can't be around them. And this is insane, right? It continues. Young Thug cannot promote any criminal street gang at all. That right there, like, is very vague, right? Because what does that mean? Is Young Thug rapping about YSL? Is that right there a probation violation? Do Young Thug have to drop his label name YSL from all of his mixtapes and songs?
Yeah, that can stretch a long way. That can have a nigga say slat. That can have somebody just, he could throw up the wrong hand sign. And now you got to go to court and wait for them to goddamn decide on your life.
Like, what does that mean? Right? They also say Young Thug can't rap about anything gang or street related. Excuse me? That's his entire, catalog. Young Thug cannot utilize any hang sign.
Nah, I ain't saying it's a lot, but it is a lot when you're talking about, you're telling this man to do, a man that, first of all, don't live in Atlanta, so he got to come to Atlanta, and he got to make himself accessible 10 hours a day, but I guess he at least get to choose what he want to do. So that's a good thing, But so he ain't got to do a concert. He could do all kind of things. So I ain't gonna make the judgment on that. But yeah, it ain't a lot. It ain't a lot. Cause like I say, you can do that like every other weekend or one time out of the month on the weekend.
Signs or gang terminology. Look at this is absolutely insane. Thug cannot promote any criminal street gang. He cannot utilize any hand sign terminology or language that promotes or represents any criminal street gang directly or indirectly. Right? Yo, he's absolutely cooked, right? And then it's obviously, like the ones like with firearms, he can't be around firearms, can't be anywhere around it in his household, et cetera, right?
But she did say that he could be around a firearm within reach from security or somebody he's performing with security. So I did hear her say that. I don't know if it's in this paperwork, but he better make sure it's in this damn paperwork, because her just saying it, that can be the goddamn okie doke. But I heard her say it out of her mouth. I don't know if they gonna let him pull that up on YouTube if the situation ever come about. Let's see. Let me read it for myself, because maybe he just skipping it. Says, shall not participate in any criminal gang activity. Defendant shall not knowingly engage in any form of contact with victims listed in the Fulton County indictment. They got the number up there. Or with any member of their family or household, except through legal counsel. Defendant shall have neither in his possession nor within arm's reach of his person a firearm of any sort during the time that the defendant remains under this sentence. And it shall be solely defendant's responsibility to ensure that no person in his immediate presence is knowingly in possession of a firearm of any sort, with the sole exception being licensed law enforcement officers and licensed security personnel that compromise defendant's personal security detail, that comprise a defendant's personal security detail that comprise the personal security detail of the musicianal artist with whom the defendant is performing. Defendant shall violate no laws of any governmental unit of the state of Georgia, any other state or territory, or the United States. Defendant may transfer probation out of state. Oh, that's a good thing. If I was him, I would move to fucking Montana, bro. I ain't lying. I would move to fucking Montana if I was Thug and transfer my shit to Montana. Them folks won't give no fucks. You ain't got to worry about nobody pulling up on you. You can mind your goddamn business. I fly to Atlanta every now and then. Be in and out. Them folks ain't gonna piss you, none of that shit. You get cool with the motherfucking your probation officer, you good to go. Defendant may transfer probation out of state. Defendant may return his passport and may travel freely out of state and outside the U.S. for defendant's lawful business of a music career. Oh, he may retain his passport. So she showed him love. He can even go out of the country, y'all. Shit. Defendant shall submit to random drug screens and shall sustain from the use of any drug not prescribed by a legal physician. We know how young boy got around that. Defendant shall execute the Fourth Amendment waiver to permit the search of person, residence, vehicle, so he can get searched at any time too. So he right.
He cannot knowingly engage in any form of contact with the victims listed in Fulton County indictment, etc., right? He may transfer his probation out of state, but y'all get the picture, bruh. It's very strict. The deal is so bad, especially when you put it into context. Young Thug and his team of attorneys was winning this trial. The prosecutors was in a very bad spot. They have made too many mistakes.
And that's what I felt like. They made so many mistakes, I don't think a jury of 12 would have found him guilty of the most serious charge. Yeah, the drug charges, maybe the machine gun charge, all the stuff that he pleaded guilty to anyway. But the drug charges, nah. I mean, not the drug charges, but the most serious charges, nah.
They looked out of depth. They looked like they weren't prepared at all. It looks like they were making mistakes on purpose to try to get a mistrial so they can try Young Thug again and tie up some loose ends. If trial was to continue, his team of attorneys was absolutely confident they would have won this trial. So to be
I think the only thing they could have did is just go through the rest of the trial and not call a mistrial. Shit, not keep asking for a mistrial.
That confident and to have your client take this deal, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. And you know you took a bad deal when your attorney, who essentially is being credited of getting his client off a life sentence to being released today, when that attorney who's being praised on social media leaves court and he's not satisfied regarding the conditions his client accepted, you know you got a bad deal.
As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal.
And for him to say that, he knows my feelings that I'm not going to reveal.
Attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been ran. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy, thankful to the Honorable Court. So to answer your question, this was not what I wanted. I don't believe that it is just, but I believe that under these circumstances, it is justice for Jeffrey Williams, and he is delighted, as are we, and thankful.
It's bad when your own attorney.
I mean, you got to read between the lines, so that's why I said I got to agree here. But, I mean, I was already thinking this before I seen he did this video, and that was a perfect example of it. I was thinking it before I seen his lawyer said that. Because, of course, you should want to win as a lawyer. And I believe they felt like they had a strong case.
Attorney is letting you know, I wouldn't have advised him to take that deal. It's horrible. And he only did it because he was in a position where he wanted to come home today. They hoodwinked him. Your own attorney's admitting, hey, bro, he got hoodwinked, man. Like, this deal was terrible. But, yo, when you put somebody through these horrible conditions for 2 years, and then you offer them to come home to a comfy multi-million-dollar mansion today, they're going to take the multi-million-dollar mansion regardless of the deals, regardless of the stipulations, regardless of the conditions. Young Thug's own...
I think we all agree to that. Those conditions, man, it was the mindset that they put that man in by telling him, man, you could go home today. And you can't take that shit out of a man's mind.
Father is unhappy about Young Thug accepting the deal and not taking it through trial.
Great that he's going home. I feel great that he's going home, but at the same token, I still wanted to fight. But that's his decision. That's his decision. You know, on the other hand, I raised him to be the man that he is. You know, I've always been in his life from a pup to now. And I'm going to continue to be in his life. You know, and as an adult, he has to make his own decision.
And
you know,
do you live here in Metro Atlanta?
Yes,
That was a great way to answer that. And you notice he got on the Courtney Kramer, District Attorney, Fulton County. So he's wearing this hat for a reason. The Thug would have went on here and wrote it out. They could have voted in this woman. And the whole case could have got thrown out if they wasn't done with it, if they ain't wrapped it up by now. By the end. But shit, she can't do a motherfucking thing now. Shit. The nigga pleaded guilty. But that's the same thing Pops just said though. Shit. I you know, I would have preferred for him to fight, but you know, I get it. Everybody understand, but shit. Hey. They ain't done.
I do.
So how does it feel to hear that he's not allowed to be in Metro?
I'm totally against that because this is where he's from, you know, and to have a district attorney take that away from him that isn't a resident from here. She's from another state.
This will prove to be the biggest mistake Young Thug has ever made because Young...
Well, I ain't gonna put, I think that's all I wanted to show, you know, but like I say, shout out to Flacco for the research or whatever. But I mean, it don't seem like I'm the only one that's thinking like, yeah, it's good for the short run, but the long run, that could come and bite you in the ass. But I mean, y'all can just let me know what y'all think. Let me drop the link again. Make sure if y'all want to come through and drop any last thoughts on the situation or whatever. Hold on. Oh damn, hold on, I gotta drop the link. But I mean, of course, man, I hope Thug prove everybody wrong. But at the same time, bro, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, he did what he rapped about. I mean, that's what they like, right? So, but he's free, so the whole rap gang can, you know, make him a legend, this and that. He beat the system, but not really. And a lot of people gonna act like they care about him, but not really. They just gonna be waiting around for the next bit of the news, waiting for the next time they could say that he crashed out or whatever it is they might want to say. But I think he'll be all right, man. He just, you know, like I say, he just need to move away from Georgia. They say they'll let him move his probation away from Georgia. I would move somewhere like South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana. You know what I'm saying? You can always fly to Atlanta a couple of hours. You ain't had drugs in this long, just, you know. Whatever you sell is gonna boom right now. He can sell free Young Thug free t-shirts. He can, man, that man can do a lot of money moves without ever putting a vocal on the damn microphone. Because, yes, they just literally took that microphone away from him. But they don't mean they can, they ain't just make a businessman. So, hopefully that's the route that he go as a businessman. But what's up, Von 216? So, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Sorry that, you know, if somebody pulled up a little late or whatever. I think I pretty much done proved my point. We went over the DJ Envy store and we went over the Young Thug Free, but, you know, did he really make a big mistake? In my opinion, I don't think it's a mistake to ask for your freedom because, you know, only he know what's going on in his family, you know, so, and if he believed that he can get through 15 years, if all he got was another chance, and he think that he could dodge that devil and everything and not trigger 40 years, hey, I can't tell a man not to have faith. So I'm glad that man got that kind of faith where he's willing to look 40 years of, you know, being a slave in the face and tackle it like he got to do. And one day he will get his real freedom back. But if any of those things that they said in court was true, you know what I'm saying, as far as the people who might have lost their life or the kids who might have got hurt or the mamas that might have got shot at that been, you know, part of your responsibility, I think that is a light punishment, but at the same time, it's a wake-up call also. So if this is a slap on the wrist, I mean, 2 years, that ain't shit. He did 2.5 years, that ain't shit. You know, some people lost their life and you get to see daylight again. You're not everybody's hero. Whoever lost their child or lost their friend or whatever about this nigga, they ain't cheering. But, hey, you do deserve a little redemption. Hopefully you don't use this shit as a stepping stone to try to make people look at you as like this ultimate gangster, ultimate boss, man. Just like I say, man, just be a father. And I don't know what to say else though. Shit. Nah, he can't. I mean, he can, but shit, it would be real risky. But anyway, let me get out of here, man. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all at the next show. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. I appreciate everybody who pulled up. Make sure y'all keep your prayers up.
Say it out loud. Better say it with your chest. Fuck, nigga. Keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga. Keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga. Keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga. You need to praise the Lord or Allah or Yahweh, whoever you believe in. Get connected. Come on. Hey, look. Ha. God blessing all the trap niggas.